Hi, welcome to another video on the Targeted Individual program, Targeted Individual Experience. Haven't done a video in over a week and a half because I've been just accumulating a bunch of videos, and then I want to do one video where I have multiple videos explaining my targeting, but I'm doing this video first because of a new tactic that they done to me over the weekend. Okay, this is the Martin Luther King holiday weekend. So Saturday afternoon, about like around 6:30, I got home and I got parking on my block. Now I park a little bit down from a hydrant. There was a car in front of me, and then the hydrant. Now, when I got out of the car and I walked towards the hydrant to cross over the street, the hydrant was off. There was there was no water at all that was coming out of the hydrant, and this was Saturday. So, Sunday I didn't leave the house. I kind of rested. Just needed to relax and just rest myself after the the heavy week of targeting. And so Monday, which was the Martin Luther King holiday, I went outside to go over to the kids' mom's house to help relieve her with the kids, and when I looked, I saw the tires of the car was in ice, the bottom part of the tires, and this was the both front and side, the rear driver's side back wheel, and it covered the entire tire and a little bit of the rim. Because I tried to move the car at first to see, well, if it'll move. The car would not budge. It was literally stuck in ice. And so I started, went back in, I got a hammer, I started cracking the ice a little bit, but, I got a bad back, so I couldn't do that for long. I did that for about probably 10 minutes, and within those 10 minutes, I rest like 4 or 5 times. Okay? And I started doing a recording, explaining what I believe was done, which was definitely, to me, deliberate, because like I said, I'm in Brooklyn, New York, and it's very cold right now. At night, the temperature goes into the single digits. So why would anyone turn on the hydrant? And on top of that, the way how the water accumulated, it was a lot of water in front of the car, then under the car, and then it tapered towards the sidewalk, towards the back of the car. So the person that was parked in front of me moved their car, I guess, before the ice hardened, because I saw the tracks. And no one had parked there since, As I was crossing the street, a car pulled up and parked in front of me. So, let me play the video.
Well, again, if they can't do it one way, they'll do it another way. So Saturday I parked here. This hydrant was not on, it was off, and apparently someone, gotta be a perp, turned on the hydrant, wait till the water got to where I'm parked at, right here, and then
And you can see where the water tapers off towards the sidewalk, right? So this wheel wasn't stuck, but the other three wheels were stuck, and I couldn't move. I stepped on the gas, forward, reverse, would not move, would not budge.
Turn it off. Now we are in sub-freezing.
Okay, let me
Sure, this is the type of stuff that they do to TIs, you know, as a stuff like that. So, you know, that tells me it's.
I want you to hear the conversation between
ice will
a
form.
woman. I want you to hear the conversation between a woman that was walking by. Listen to what she had to say.
Where I'm parked. Yeah, somebody turned on the hydrant. That's what they did. They turned on.
No, the fire department.
The fire department did this.
They didn't. I don't know what happened. I come there, I see it dripping, I see it running down, and they're sitting there in the truck. I have.
Okay. Did you hear what she just said? She said the fire department was there, right, as the water was dripping. Okay, she said drip, right? She didn't say flow. And they were just sitting there in their truck. Okay? It is my belief, because, you know, the fire department engaged in noise campaign against me. And so they know the car that I drive. Okay, and this is not my car. This is the kid's mother car. But because she doesn't want to do anything in terms of taking care of the car, you know, washing the car, taking the car to the mechanic, getting up to move the car, you know, for parking, the parking situation. So I do it, okay? And so they knew this, and, you know, I said this before, okay? The civilian perps work with the perps in the fire department, the police, the ambulatory services, okay, EMT or what have you, emergency vehicles. So there have been situations where civilian perps living in their home would call the fire department on my way back from work and to work when I was working, just to target me, just so that the fire department could have some sort of legitimate excuse to be there. But the thing is, it's never when I'm not around. It's when I'm leaving. I used to leave for work, and when I was coming home from work. Okay? And they still do it. They still do it. Alright? So, I believe that the fire department turned on the water even more, then turn it off, knowing that that water was going to freeze over and I was going to get stuck. Okay, and let me tell you the reason why I think like that. Because certain things happen after I was speaking to this lady. Okay, and like I said, I went back in and got a hammer. I tried to, you know, break it, but after about 10 minutes, I couldn't do it because of my back, and my side started to hurt really bad. So I went inside, and my sister suggests using boiling hot water, which I did. I used boiling hot water. I came out, and actually, before I went in to speak to my sister about what happened. So there was a gentleman who lived in the building next to mine, a short black man, and they use him a lot in targeting me. Okay, on my block there are two people that target me the most. This guy and a Jewish woman who lives in one of the houses right after one of the buildings. So as I was going in the house, he says to me, "Hey, you trying to get out of there? Let me give you something to help you." And he goes in and he brings this sledgehammer. Now, this guy, he sees me walking with my cane, with my crutches. Okay. Obviously, you know, I can't wield a sledgehammer to break the ice. Okay. But they do stuff like that because when this happened, okay, when they do stuff like this happen, they want the TI to make some sort of rash decision that would be detrimental to their well-being. In my case, had I took that sledgehammer and attempted to break the ice with that, you know, I could have aggravated my back and even caused more injury to my back. And I told him, I said, no. I said, no, thank you. Can't do it. Then I went inside. So I came back out with water. And as I came back out, sirens, okay, the fire department, fire trucks, sirens. And so after I poured the first bucket of hot water, I went back inside, bought some more water, came back a second time. I heard sirens again. Every time I stepped out, I heard sirens. So went back in again. The third time I came out, sirens. And it was at that point, as I exit out my building, I start recording.
So just got out the house, and as you can hear, hopefully it'll show up on the recording. The sounds of fire trucks. And this has been happening every time I go in, because right now I'm attempting to melt the ice using hot water, and seems to be working, but still got some ways to go, as you can see.
Okay, so again, every time I came out the house to pour hot water on the frozen ice, there's always the sound of sirens, okay, fire trucks. Now, when I go inside to boil water, okay, it takes 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm inside 15 to 20 minutes. And when I come outside, the siren starts, okay?
I was attempting to use the hammer to break the ice apart, but, with my bad back, I couldn't do it. So after about 5 minutes, I had to stop.
It was actually like 10 minutes.
It's ridiculous what they will do. Literally. I mean,
somebody deliberately did this. And then they called the fire department because it was a drip. And then they called the fire department. And the fire department opened up the water even more. And then closed it. Knowing that the ice would freeze over. Okay? And I would get stuck there. All because they figure, well, you know what? He's going to have to dig himself out of there. So he got a bad back. And that's going to aggravate his injury even more. So they do stuff like this. Okay? They try to make it seem like it's some naturally occurring thing. But this is deliberate. We're in, freezing temperature. Who would open up the fire hydrant unless they were deliberately trying to do this? Okay? And like I said, at the event, in terms of, this guy bringing out a sledgehammer for me to use, and, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous, okay? But this is what they do. And as you heard, the woman said that the fire department came and they were just sat in their truck. They just sat in their truck. That's what they did. Okay? So, just wanted to, do this video because, this is a new tactic that they use. So now, I have to be very wary of parking next to a fire hydrant or close to a fire hydrant. Okay? And then on top of that, because trying to get out, with the ice and everything, one of the wheel on the passenger side, the front passenger side, started making a lot of noise, and so I don't know if it's when I was attempting to move the car, the ice splashing up might have done something, maybe to the brakes or to the the caliper. I don't know, but I know that after I got out of this, that front wheel, passenger side wheel, started making a lot of noise. Whenever I step on the brake and I turn, it makes a lot of noise. So now I got to take the car back to the mechanic. They do stuff like this to damage your property, and it's not even my property. Like I said, I drive this car, but the car doesn't belong to me. I don't own the car. Okay? So it goes to show you that, they don't care that they damage other people's property, as long as it causes you grief and discomfort, as long as it hampers you in doing what you need to do and what you want to do. They will damage your property as well as other people's property. They don't care. Okay? So, just wanted to do this video and to show exactly this tactic that they have now used against me. And so, if any other TI that own vehicles, please be careful when parking next to a fire hydrant. Okay? Especially if it's in cold, freezing weather.